Hello, healing souls. My name is Dawn, and I am a survivor of depression and complex PTSD. Welcome to my channel where I help to support those working through depression and other mental health issues. In today's video, I'll be sharing 5 easy things to do to feel better from depression. And if you stick around till the end, I've decided to include a bonus suggestion that is perhaps the easiest of all. At the worst point of my depression, I had to take a couple of months off of work. So I spent many days at home working to heal from my depression. These are some of the things I wish others had told me to do or do more often. Suggestion number 1, stick to eating 3 times a day. Many times with depression, our appetite is affected one way or the other. People either eat a lot more or eat much less. For me personally, I had almost no desire to eat, and I lost about 10% of my body weight. Not ideal. I would find myself eating a single bowl of oatmeal and nothing else the entire day because it was easy. It was the only thing that sounded like something I wanted to eat. Sometimes I would eat it twice a day. It would have been more helpful to maintain my energy level to have eaten something rather than nothing and to eat 3 times a day. For others, eating more often than normal is what feels comforting during depression. And I'd say that's really fine as long as you're comfortable with any potential weight that you might be adding, if that is the case. You don't want to reach a point where you're now feeling bad about any potential weight gain, though. Also, sometimes when we need emotional comforting through food, we turn to food items that are not really healthy for us. So I'd say if you're eating a pound of bacon and a bag of donut holes for breakfast, 2 cheeseburgers and a full bag of potato chips for lunch, and then a full pizza for dinner, that's not supporting your healing. We already struggle with sluggishness when depressed, and those types of foods are going to contribute to that even more. So it's important to choose healthy items for our bodies. I find fruit is an especially easy go-to when we don't have much energy for cooking. Now, for some of you, even getting out to the store to get those groceries might be a challenge. Fortunately, we now have home delivery of groceries. If you prefer, you can also ask a friend or a family member to help you get your groceries and healthy items when they do their own shopping. Regardless, whether you eat too little or too much, try to keep it healthy and to eat something 3 times a day to keep your body on a schedule. It'll also be a way to encourage you to get up and moving around. Suggestion number 2, shower, take a bath, or take a sponge bath. Just try to get yourself washed up in some way. And this one was really tough for me. There were days where I would go 3 days without showering, and I always felt worse. It was a very unloving way to take care of myself. Taking a shower or a bath is one of the easiest things that you can do to feel better from your depression. If you enjoy taking a bath, you can add essential oils such as lavender or ylang ylang to your bath. I particularly liked lavender because it's good for soothing anxiety too. Being in a bathtub full of warm water is extremely comforting, and I found that for some reason, being in a bath is a great way to release any tears that we've been holding back. It can be helpful to move those stuck emotions, and for whatever reason, a bath seems to encourage that. On the days that I was just unable to get myself into the shower or the bath, I would take a sponge bath. A soapy washcloth cleaning the important parts was just as helpful as a full shower. At least I didn't feel grubby on top of feeling sad. Often I found if I could get myself up and showered that I had a much better day, and I was even able to get out, do some errands and some things around the house as well. That helped me feel more accomplished and normal, and it uplifted my mood a bit. And as you know, with depression, we will take any small improvement that we can get in our mood. Suggestion number 3, change your clothes daily. Now, there are going to be days that you feel none of suggestion 2 will feel manageable, and that's okay too. Depression involves moving through some good days and some bad days. So, what can you do on a not so good day where showering isn't an option? Well, on the days that I didn't shower, I would stay in the same clothes for days. I lived alone, so it was really easy to do. Easy, but not helpful. If you have one of those days where number 2 is not doable, then I encourage you to at least change your clothes. Have you been living in your favorite sweats? Change to clean sweats. Have you been hanging out in your pajamas for the last 3 days? At least change to clean pajamas. Just the act of getting into different clothes, clean clothes, can make us feel a little better, perhaps even motivated to get more done. Super easy thing to do to feel a bit better. So I really encourage you to at least change your clothes daily. Who knows, by changing your clothes, you might feel motivated to actually get in the shower since you're already undressed anyway. That would happen to me a lot on the days that I felt rather that I wouldn't get moving or get anything accomplished. If you can just push yourself to do one step of any of the suggestions that I'm recommending in this video, you will find that they often flow together. It just takes that one first step to get us up and moving. Suggestion number 4, comb your hair and brush your teeth. Along the lines of self-care, which I'm sure you're gathering at this point is huge in dealing with our depression, is combing your hair and brushing your teeth. Now, I suppose to many, this might seem like basic common sense, but again, I lived alone, and on a lot of days, I either didn't comb my hair or I just put it up in a ponytail. With very little energy, I just couldn't be bothered. Same with brushing my teeth. I think all the lack of self-care while I was dealing with depression was an outward expression of how little I really loved myself at that time. I felt so worthless. So why would I bother treating my body and myself with any love and respect? However, on the days that I did do these 2 things, I not only felt better, it was soothing in a way, especially the brushing of my hair. I found that it was a really self-loving thing to do. Now, if you want, you can make a meditation out of it. You can close your eyes, and while you're brushing your hair, take a deep breath in, tell yourself you love yourself with each brush stroke, and breathe out at the end. Tell yourself that you're worthy. And even if you don't necessarily fully feel these things at the time you're telling yourself them, by repeating these types of mantras to yourself, you're rewiring new neural pathways in your brain with those types of thoughts. Treat yourself as if you were a child lovingly brushing your own hair. Repeat whatever mantra feels like something that you need to hear. While you brush your teeth, you can picture yourself being surrounded in a beautiful ball of white or pink light. This connects you to a higher vibration of love energy that flows throughout the universe, and it gets us in touch with our higher power, regardless of what your spiritual beliefs may be. Imagining yourself in this white or pink light taps us into that which gives you comfort spiritually. Anything you can do to shift out of the low vibration of depression is helpful. I fully believe that incorporating some type of spirituality, again, whatever your beliefs are, into our healing is an important piece of our healing journey. So, simple step for improving and feeling better from our depression: comb your hair, brush your teeth every day. Okay, be sure to stick with me for the bonus suggestion, which is coming up next. Suggestion number 5, use Bach Flower Essences. Now, this suggestion might seem a little unconventional, but hear me out. So, our bodies are made of energy, and these flower plant essences work on the body's energetic level. Now, I realize this may sound strange to some people, but I assure you they do help as I used them personally. If we have dealt with a lot of trauma, it can become stored in our body energetically. Psychiatrist and longtime researcher Bessel van de Kolk wrote a book called The Body Keeps Score. It's a research based book that discusses how our bodies energetically hang on to trauma years and even decades later, and how that trauma continues to affect our lives. Especially with trauma survivors, it stands to reason that those of us who have not dealt with our trauma fully will still carry that with us energetically. Now, keep in mind when I say trauma, it can be something as, quote, simple as emotional neglect. It doesn't have to be a major trauma, such as an abusive parent. There are many forms of trauma, and I will be discussing those different types of trauma in a different video. Now, it may take a couple of weeks for us to notice a difference when using these essences, but they do help. I noticed a difference within a couple of days, but again, it will just depend on how your body works with the essences energetically. There are a total of 38 flower essences available, and I'm going to include a link below to a free quiz, which will ask you about your symptoms that you're experiencing, and then it will recommend the ones that are best for you. The ones I found especially helpful for depression were mustard. Mustard is for deep depression with no real idea why, and gorse for feelings of absolute hopelessness, which many of us experience during depression. You can also use Rescue Remedy, which is a combination of 5 of the essences together. And this is really good for anyone who either recently experienced a major trauma or is processing and reliving the experiences of previous trauma. But I do recommend you take the quiz and find what works for you. You can find these at either Sprouts or Whole Foods, or of course, you can order them online. Now, again, I realize this is a bit out there for some folks, so I'm going to include a link to the science research behind the use of flower essences if you'd like to explore that too. All right, on to the bonus suggestion, number 6, head massage, squeeze your body, self-love hug. I really wish someone had made this suggestion to me. This suggestion is about getting yourself back into yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you need to do something to get you grounded or fully present in your body. Many of us that are in depression or even anxiety become disassociated from our bodies, where we don't really feel fully in our bodies. We become numb to our feelings, or again, even to being in our bodies. It's important to stay connected to our bodies. The only way we're going to begin to heal our depression and other mental health issues is by being in our body and feeling our feelings, whatever those are that we're having trouble facing. So, what are some things that you can do to be in your body? The first is actually just to squeeze your arms or legs. Physically grasp your arms and your legs and squeeze so that you feel the sensation of touch, of being in your body. While you do this, again, I recommend saying things to yourself that are kind, like, I am safe, I am loved, I am worthy, whatever works for you. Whatever thoughts you might be having about yourself, such as, I don't matter, no one loves me, I'm all alone. I want you to flip those thoughts into something positive or the opposite. So, I don't matter to anyone becomes, I do have people who care about me. Things will never get better becomes, I have made small improvements from where I was 2 weeks ago. These things serve 2 purposes: getting you out from your head, from overthinking and being critical of yourself, and getting you out of numbness and disassociation. Another way to do this is to give yourself a head massage. We actually carry a lot of stress in our head, scalp, and neck, particularly the back of the head. It's very soothing to massage your head. Finally, you can end this practice by giving yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a good, long 10-second hug. More than anything, again, because I lived alone, I often wished I could have someone just give me a hug and tell me it was going to be okay. I was going to get better. I was going to be happy again. I keep repeating this, but whatever you need to hear, tell yourself while you're hugging yourself, I'm strong. I'm really resilient. I'm getting better every day. I can do this. I see myself happy. So work with being in your body. It's very empowering and healing for your depression. Some of these suggestions that I've made in this video to help you feel better from your depression might seem like obvious things to do, but I really didn't have anyone telling me how they would make me feel or how impactful they would be in affecting my recovery in a positive manner. They may seem small and inconsequential, but as I mentioned, often doing just one of these things can spur you on to doing other things with your day and your body. And the feelings of sadness can improve that day due to getting up, moving, accomplishing something. I found my guilt was much less on the days that I followed through on doing these suggestions. And as you may know, when we feel guilty, it often compounds our feelings of depression and worthlessness. Last thing I want to mention, and I certainly did a lot of this myself, was to focus on how awful I felt. I thought it was never going to end and that I couldn't go on. What I didn't realize was how much more difficult I was making it for myself by having those thoughts. A big shift for me in my depression was when I began redirecting my focus on what I was learning in that moment. Was I learning new ways of thinking? How was that going for me? Was I learning new ways of being in my body and how good it felt to finally be grounded? Was I learning how to set new boundaries and stand up for myself? How great was it to begin to feel more empowered in these new ways of being? So I encourage you to begin to redirect your focus to what is the lesson and the learning opportunity, even on the most difficult of days when you're working through your depression. It is a powerful shift that can really speed up your healing. Thank you for watching. If you have received any value from this video, please like, comment, and more importantly, share to spread mental health help and awareness. Sending you healing souls so much love. And for whoever needs to hear this, you matter, and I promise you, recovery is possible.